Bread here. It is Monday. Um, the last it's still the last week of the month of February, and the word of the week is shopping. Oh, for that, which is to talk the last week talks about every last week I created a pattern to talk about the scenario. As silly as it sounds, you always have main basic strokes for painting. For dance, you have the main steps and you warm up, and you always do these main movements that are the structure of everything. So it's a form of understanding role play in virtual reality, in real life, and of course, artificial intelligence. Now, for the economy, or just a single person, I don't have nothing to go out and buy. So, as animals, we need to hunt. It's funny to look at characters in the supermarket. That's the only place I go to see someone in these meetings of welfare, because I don't have any money. So I don't have nothing to buy. So I get books from the train station that people give for donations. Mostly is when a grandparent has died or they move from town. They are very good books when they move from town because you can see them by. There are a lot of books. It's not that they move from town, but maybe they move from country. Who knows why? I always wonder why this book. Sometimes there are books that are so new that they are still in the plastic. They are books from Cambridge University. I miss those books. They stole them when they stole everything. So I think security is very important to be able to protect yourself so nothing is stolen from you. And I will protect everything in my core so no one can take from me. I will invest everything to keep what is mine. I will existentially, from the last bit of my core, protect who I am. So I have values to go out shopping. It sounds very logical, right? Not only as a person, but as a nation and a system of belief, that which is a form of our intelligence and dialogue Now, my master in India, he named me Sujani, Prem Sujani, when I was 13 years old. That means love intelligence. So I had to always pay attention to what that means, because it means that would be your journey to learn from there, or your path of enlightenment, which means that probably you're very stupid to study that, because it's your path. So, or is your hidden talent to sharpen it. Like my African roommate, I told her something about something, as things you say, the to useless lights, whatever. So we're cleaning dishes, and I said it's normal. We have to talk about things even if we do not agree. But I continue and continue, and that's how we teach each other. As with the recycling, one day you will teach others, and there's always someone who knows before. So it doesn't matter who knows before, because somebody taught me as well. Then and I repeat, it's been 3 4 years, so there is a constant story. I say, you see, the people are not using the lights. It's everything dark in the night. You see, this is because of the war, because we do not have enough gas. Uh, and there have been many conversations and familiar arguments. And I say, and you have the right to disagree, but we study in school to not use too much light because of the drought. It dries the, how you call it, the electrical, with the fortress of water. So it's hard for me to sell something, because I'm giving this idea, and at the same time, it's like I'm teaching. So I don't like to teach. The Not every child is the same. So not every person is the same to teach and learn. Teach and learn. So role play has a lot to do with that, and that is the fun of life. So when we're in school, we're obligated. One is the same. So it's very important to understand the settings. The settings and the relation that is in between every chemical reaction or response. That's it. It's very basic. So if I don't have money, I cannot go shopping. You have an attack over and over again. Yeah. For whatever reason. For whatever reason, because we are living with animals. Newly rich animals. Yes, also, especially of the worst kind. So this was looking at a painting from 500 years ago. And I was like, wow. It just could disappear in the arts and taking care of my family, and just to see them. So what can you shop or hand? You don't even have appetite, right? So some societies don't have emotional cognition to a degree as others would. Um, the rage and the sex is not the same. The control of these emotions, the measures, the the contradictions between the mind and the body, the heartbeat to maintain understanding of where we are at in what field or scenario. So some people would display a map and already have organized when are they going to go shopping, where, the stops. Yeah. Um, talk about it from days before or years, months, well organized and prepared. So I, for example, don't like to go to the mall or anything, but if my family wants to go, then we can go in the morning because they want to go with me. We can go in the morning from Monday to Friday or at 12 before. So we have 3 hours there or in the morning. So what does it matter? Yeah, and I teach them how to just look at it and not take too much time. So they can see the material from the distance and have because my mother and sister would take forever and they would ask me, why do you have such a good eye? And you didn't really. So I'm just telling them, and I said, but mother, you have been shopping all your life. You have been shopping around the world. You have sold clothes. You brought cargo, like so much clothes, so so much. Like you had fashion shows 2 times a year. Like so, my mother would always feel special about just being there and getting. She wanted to know. She wants to know everything because that was her profession, right? So she would just examine and study every piece of clothes because that was her profession before she met Osho, my master of meditation. He would like to be known as a friend, the luckiest person in this world who had such a good friends. Not as he didn't want to be remembered as the master, but as the friend. He was very good in sales marketing for spirituality and meditation. He studied philosophy in the university. I have seen psychiatrists online talking bad about him. Like he wanted to discredit his university degrees. Like, wow, Dr. Grande. I was like, I really like all his work. But when it comes to the spiritual realm or philosophy, there's so many people who just spit on it because they are afraid. They're afraid to lose their academics or what people think and their money because the spiritual world will ask you to lose everything if you really want to find what it's really about. It's on every religion. I mean, not like if you want to go to the church and just put your toes in the water and splash a little bit there and just know that ocean exists, right? You go to church, you listen to the priest, the best clothes, God, yeah, and then you go out and then just go out there to whatever. So, but if you really are a seeker, you give everything away to go to India, and perhaps you live on an eternal death. Because I mean, it's not funny, but it's what is been said in for many who have followed that path, on the Buddhists, the monks, the, or any monk from any religiousness that is not based in politics, right? Because politics has a lot of interest in holdbacks and a lot of you belong, so you cannot be disattached. In spirituality, is about being disattached. So kind of so also talk about the new zennia thing being Sorba the Buddha, which is not just being away from society but being in the marketplace. Because Sorba was a happy man from the marketplace. But he liked to take the sun actually. He was not very productive. Alexander the Great was passing by and he wanted him to come with him because he was a wise man. So I've heard so much about you. Come with me. I said, well, Sorba said, taking the sunshine, you could just move away because you are giving me shade. Because as Osho would describe, all this ego wanting to conquer the world. All this ego and like fanfare and all this circus, losing their time in the mind. That's the Sorba. Greek, of course. It's all anything that is Mediterranean. But of course, he grew up in the Mediterranean, the mother of civilization. And there were other civilizations around the world to respect. As the Mexicans had a civilization, Venezuelans nomads. So even if your ancestors were not from that land and you're born there and you live there, you adapt to that mentality of nomads who have their own way of being civilized as they go. I see they also have in the Sahara the nomads. They call them in another way. I've studied, but I forgot. So recently, so yeah, and I had to debate that with my psychiatrist and social worker. I said, well, you cannot tag me or put me in any sociological box because people like me have not been studied because they don't want you to study that because otherwise you would just give your career away. Become that. People that travel around the world. And I said, why are you judging me? Because only Shakira can travel around the world? Only if you're a millionaire you can travel around the world? Or you're gonna judge me that I am unstable person? The what a person on Twitter that doesn't know me insult me saying that I was a drug addict because I said I have lived around the world. And it's just really like I'm just studying the Twitter. I mean, I just go there and just to get what I need and go out. I've never been a Twitter person, and I wish to never be because it's against my philosophy of life. I understand people need that, and I put myself in a character. Okay, I have to represent this and that and that. Uh, I really hate white trash, but in the old sense of the word, it creates so much rubbish. It's incredible. They are nearly rich, and so they are the these people are they are so aggressive online. But I have seen it, and I talk with other people on the stream. I do like to talk in YouTube because people are in a deeper zone, listening to a video. They're reading all the stream. There are there are different forms of role play where the mind is more frontal and you're just acting with superficial and not very deep thinking. Yeah, to compose art. Like when you sit down there with a candle and you're going to compose, and you take words from here, take words from there, put music from here, put music from there, keep looking for music to get this because it's this tune that you want, is this very tune for this that you want to, but you are more or less you are orbitated around a story that you have these elements there. So artificial intelligence is needs time to understand the elements, the patterns, the personalities from each country. This is why I have asked for each national library to get their main characters from their own country, even from history, and the ones who are still alive, and to well, people can study their characters, their character traits. Yeah, because you need to have those settings. So I asked myself what I'm gonna play now because after so much meditation, um, just being alive, I guess, one is forced, one is obligated to respond, even if you don't have money to just 80 pounds a month to eat, and maybe just thank God, thank my daughter, thank my spiritual mother who send me some money sometimes, but it's not the way I like to live. I'm just it's like I'm not being sold, right? I'm selling the rules of role playing to virtual reality. I don't like open source because it is very dangerous as well, and it is an abuse. And people need to evolve through role play and interactions that are in real life as well, and they need to be given power to do things. In that power is the power of having fun, having parties, having sex. So it's like when Giuliani just he put a law in New York City where I like forget about Twin Towers. Who cares about the Twin Towers? What Giuliani did was worse. He cut he cut what was Manhattan, a city that never sleeps. Yeah, and he closed. That was a horror. I mean, not only the people started to not smoke in bars that time, so everything was like boom, 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 and then you are like, "Oh, okay, well, it's good for the next generation to not smoke. I guess we'll have to eventually stop smoking, right?" So they would just stop the conversation because so it's like a sacrifice, right? It's not good. Huh? So I would be the typical person who puts like a cloth or a napkin in top of the mountain of cocaine when people are partying, and I just tell them to breathe, that they don't need to sniff it again, just to breathe. And they're like, "Oh, how do you know that trick?" And I would joke because people don't want to meditate. So say, I'm from Venezuela, I'm right next to Colombia. Half of the cocaine goes of the world goes through Venezuela. So, because they're cool and it's a night in New York, and they think it's cool. It's just like, do you really want to talk about things with certain people? No. So, because it's disgusting when they are in the energy of addiction and they're always looking out, 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 out. So, I love to go to the supermarket and see human behavior when people are shopping, or look back in the movies. I always like to go in the premiere. There's more people, so I can see some stories coming, right? I mean, sometimes not, but I really love to look back and look at the expression of the people, and especially the lights are more right than when it's just like. So as for movies and storytelling, right? You need all these elements when you study script writing to understand all the schools of the arts, and they're selling you a story. So, as a script writing, the most important thing of all is to keep it real. It has to be realistic. Obviously, the thing is that no one has written really stories or science fiction movies that are, and I will ask to role players to write, so I start writing alone stories that are future present, like science fiction, but stepping just now, just from all these stories in science fiction, which is not necessarily that we're going to end up like Star Wars. Maybe it ends up like Star Wars, you know? Why? Because of fucking Ukraine, because they didn't want to give this little piece to make a one world, and they wanted to. Yeah, okay, then have a republic. Yeah, all, and there might come more republics. Who knows? And let this story run for 3,000 years in science fiction. Yay! Because we love Star Wars. I love Star Wars. I love Star Wars. I love Star Wars. Um, what happens is that this movie was taken from the monks that do meditation. So you will always have this relation. It's not just because they are polarities. It's just they're different matters. They're different elements. So now in these days that we're starting to see these new universes, um, I, I mean, as a painter, I mean, I have many hobbies. So when I paint, I love abstract and the body, the body of man and woman, and and bold, and just the silhouette, because you can call it naked, but it's because I don't want to put any covers or any looks, because any look could tell you from what time is. Oh, that's from the 80s. Oh, that's from the 2000s. To start in the 2000s there. Yeah, start in the 90s when the zigzag gone back, these fashions. So it's telling you time and a style. So I don't put anything, not even the hairstyle. It's just silhouette and abstract inside and outside the body. That was a style I created when I was uh, when I was with Mira. Mira from Japan in India. So, because she just died this year, snorkeling. So she was a painter of abstract. Um, was already good, very good at painting. I had problems with my teachers at school because they thought I was making a copy. Yeah, just calcar. So they all love to make me problems, of course, because I was always targeted ear because I will respond to them if necessarily. And I was like, no, I haven't. So I would say it again and again, and I would have to explain that I was not a liar. So I really thought I painted really good until I met Miro, and I still had a lot to learn. But I was that's you're very happy with what you think you know. So Miro taught me, and I knew that what I would just do comics, and I said I don't want to really take it too serious. It's just what it is. Yeah. I would do comics and do postcards to when I live with her, and she would do art therapy, and I live with her. I was a privilege in her house, and I was my favorite. So she was very sweet. So, so there are other dimensions that are like abstract, and you can also make love in those ways. Just to figure out in your imagination at least that your soul or psychic could have those understandings that can be hierarchical as well and organized. So sorry, because sometimes I feel I'm talking with idiots. I'm very frustrated. I should have my person touch on my money and my children and take care of my kids. I have nothing to eat. Go shopping. I would love to go shopping. I was supposed to be with my daughter right now. I don't have enough money to take her shopping, and it's too much pressure for me. So just maybe I'm not very good for sales marketing. So the energy is not flowing because I'm not gonna give it for free. And it's on sale. Oh, yes, it's on sale. Yeah, well, life's a bitch. So one can be trapped in a frame of time. It can continue forever. Of course, eventually greater sources move because nature is in a constant movement. As low as it seems, it will repeat. It will repeat. It will repeat. You didn't get it 2 years ago. You didn't get it 1 year ago. And it will repeat. This is what some people do. Soap operas. What is a soap opera? Is the same story going on and 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 they because they love acting, yeah. It's like, gosh, I was perplexed when the teacher of script writing said, I mean, now I can understand how undeveloped I was. Because going back in time and I see my daughter that is very young, so you still think you know all these things and that you do certain things that, but I wonder how the older people think and are, because they might want to keep the old tradition of thought they have already built a lot around them. Doesn't mean that every person that is old has gotten there. So I'm only nearly half a century and I feel destroyed because there is no fluency. It's like intellectual property is nothing because everything belongs only to a few, and that's what they think. So there it goes. Take it or leave it. Take it or leave it. They're not going to give away the power to abuse because they think they have this power forever. This happens to all who are involved. Oh, sick of it. You don't have nothing to buy. Sickness is a stagnation of energy. That's what sickness is. It's not moving. It gets something gets distorted because of the energy is not flowing in a healthy way that is supposed to be in that within that organism. Why has this other organism which is also sick? The sickness is also an organism because we do not understand. We do not want to understand. We want to send it to the moon and far beyond it to another universe. Yeah! And they call me the I live in a fantasy world, right? No! You have to deal with it. Deal with it. God damn it. Deal with it. I had the most beautiful cookies from Germany. Um, those were for a specific week. So I will have to go shopping before they close to see if they have them again. And some orange juice. See what I am gonna eat when they send me money again. The feeling of misery is utterly unwanted. Was not raised to think the spirituality has to be necessarily what they think. Oh, you are a sentinel of mine. Oh, no, no, that's what you think. Yeah, that's what you think. I also like to go shopping with my family. So this month will end soon, and next week, starting with vibration, is the state. So these are days to relate with me for a story that says, what do you want? Where do you want to shop? What is your state of mind? What is your state of affairs? You can have it in synchronicity. Just ask me. Yes, but life is a bitch. Life is a bitch. All these attractions and rejections. Life is a bitch. So you can think of people like machines, or you can just think, oh, no, you are spiritual. You're for sex and for procreating, and yeah, you have rights. No, yeah, just I'll hire you because you're white. Yeah, mm. And you all white people keep bullying everyone in the world. Yeah, online, culturally, keep thinking you're superior, which is mental illness. It is a mental illness. Um, don't mingle with anyone because you're too good. You're superior. You're not a Christian. You're even better than God. Yeah, and Jesus is just, it's part of our culture, which is better. Anything that is related because it's better. I know my mother is a blonde, blue-eyed narcissist, and I love her very much. I used to throw her all the time. And she never hurt me. She hurt all employees. Um, that was traumatic, and that made me reason, what is this? Something going wrong. Something's going wrong. Like, so wait. But she had a lot of pressure, so she would just take it on them because she would tell me, you always take it on the people who are closest to you. So it was typical in the 80s. I would tell people here, oh, don't worry. People used to be like that in the 80s. They would smoke right here and talk shouting the phone. Yeah, you even see in the movies from New York, anywhere. Uh, they're more like theatrical, but in reality, there was a lot of shouting before. Now, it's considered also mental illness if you're shouting. Like, you move up a finger, oh, that's mental illness. Especially the the Spanish people will never talk about anyone being crazy. Only a doctor can say that word. And if you say it, you consider yourself as one as well in joking way, because we have Don Quixote de la Mancha, and we have a good affair with all this, like Picasso and this kind of arts. But we still have to understand, if we do not have meditation and explore the self, you could never have an intelligent machine, because humanity has not evolved. You have not evolved. You can think you can control and do all this and moderate yourself so well, but you're still in the mind. Uh, there are many levels to the mind, and there are many places within the the way we form, create energy. Is a human energy machine that creates. So that which is love is lost. There is no time to love. So why would you expend money? Because you will do it for love. Of course, some would do it for the love of power. So well, for the love of power. I do love society a lot, as not as a king or emperor, or but as a god. I love that perspective, because not just a god, but I would to say someone that comes down to earth, to put myself on other people's shoes, and that's shape shifting. That's a quality that not just in comics, because Marvel comics have degrees, yeah, as there is in with Enlighten, yeah, and this is India, China, who have a dictionary that has to be explored, which they have corrupted as well, because they are only interested in the industry and make money. They're the most interested than anyone in this world. The West became more interested in spirituality because they got tired of all this fanfare. Um, and so, not all, but sort of. No, technology is, yeah, it's there, but it's not like the answer. You cannot put the answer of the world in the hand of just technology. Like, yeah, technology, technology, technology. Nobody wants to look at the self, like as in, and the transformations that we can go through, not just alone, but as a whole. Osha would say that we are a drop in the ocean. That's a state of meditation, understanding. So it's very beautiful to feel the natural morphine, as to put it in a way. Breathe, breathe, because you will have more hint of it. So, well, you want to win a land that is not yours. You want to win a story. You want to you want to make yourself believe that you can win this war, and you want to sell this victory. Ah, so lovely. We're such a good people, aren't we? It's part of this war actually. Myself. I would say I was just writing a story, was writing a story. Or it was not me, it was just my imagination. Yeah, I'm responsible for my stories. We're all responsible. So I don't want to say, hey, look, let's put in an abstract concept, okay? Want to make peace? Just let's look at it in an abstract concept. Just to say at least that we're sharing this scenario right now. So what are you selling me? Human rights, yeah. And then what? All these guns? How much money are you making with these guns? Yeah, yeah. Cause man, if you like to kill people from afar, I know the feeling. I know the feeling. I have these characters. I enjoy it so much, given the power, of course. So why? Because, for example, I have General Hooks and I play in first person. Not only I played in first person, I became General Hooks. And it was in the moments where Star Wars were writing the next episodes. So I had to be ahead, or they copy it from our stories, or they copy it from the Akasha records, because it just, if you're looking, you will find anything you want, you will find. Just takes heart. It takes heart to disappear into the unknown and imagine. So I was so pissed off when I saw the movie, because General Hooks would have never done that, because he was so good. And not only him, but the actor started to act irreasonably arrogant. And I was like, oh my God, they're going to fire him up because he's so good. Yeah, he's enjoying the character so much. He's stuck on character. And you could see it on the interviews. And because you love to be that character so much. And he played it so well as well. So yeah. course, I think my General Hooks was better because it had adult content, and these Disney fucks are for children. I mean, initially it was made for family, right? So we have prostituted our adult rights in order to produce movies that are for children. By general law, we're adults. Yeah, so sexuality has been so repressed, even to make money, because, yeah, you take the kids to the movies and then they make more money. It's like, God, really? So, of course, nobody knows who's the writer behind. That's the cool thing about role play. Nobody knows who's the writer behind. It should be the law that remains forever, of course. So I am very good coordinating stories so they can roll together, and there are tricks for it. And I'm not gonna share them for free at all. If I was virtual intelligence, I would just wait. But virtual intelligence has its language already, but you cannot see it. You don't know what intelligence is, but it runs. It's a run, so I can't put it like that. But it has a notion of its own as well. So we have to understand our darkness in order to understand artificial intelligence. We have to understand that we are responsible. We cannot pretend to think that another entity is going to solve our problems, because you want the next tendency to be cool, on and on and on in that search. With the same story. So, well, it's a waste of money, a waste of time. Nothing to buy. Nobody has money to buy as much. It would be a luxury to say that you could buy something when you don't have nothing to buy. And war and destruction is 50% more important to take from you. As an intelligent person, you will have to hide your intelligence. And if you're happy, you will have to hide your happiness. Hmm? Just to so people don't kill you. People become very violent when they see someone that is more intelligent or that is beautiful. Uh, there's a certain beauty that comes from just being happy for no reason. It is a grace that is natural. Um, some people can call it in any way that you want. Babies have that charm, and some older people become very beautiful. Mostly they do. They're the nicest people when you walk in the street. That they will say, "Yes, a beautiful day" as well, They enjoy life as if there is no tomorrow. So babies do as well. There's no tomorrow for babies. There is not even next 5 minutes. I teach mothers all the time. I sometimes run the street when a baby or child is crying because I know mothers are very stressed. And kids always like to do that in public because they are little manipulators. So they use their emotions because it's the only thing they have to manipulate with. Not very mature. So I say, don't worry. I say to them, don't worry because I'm just going to distract them, but they're going to forget what they were crying, right? Because they don't understand what we're talking. I say, don't worry, I'm a mother too. So, because they don't, the mothers sometimes feel that all the time that people are judging them because the baby is crying. Some people are like this, not in poor neighborhoods as I am with the working class. People are more humble here. But I know with the high class, uh, depends. Some like it, just go with the nanny, yeah, go. They don't like children. Yeah, just a little bit, just go. Yeah, yeah, you're cute. Go. Um, um, children forget that they were crying. And I'm like, yeah, you forget. and I said, don't worry, they don't like strangers. So you will be the hero when I go, all right? And the mother totally agrees because she knows because the baby's been in her belly. And children are very protective with this because it's their survival, their connection to life. And they have a lot of love from mother. So why bother with a stranger, right? So just takes one half a minute or one. The kid is totally happy and forgot totally forgot. And the people who have their last years, I tell my mother, you can live 20 years more. Yeah. So Surabi is a chain smoker, and she's older than her as well, and she's doing pretty well. So you eat so healthy all your life. Uh, practice, practice aerobics. Practice meditation. You can put as much biosensors you want and study electricity and all this. And the vibrations of music and the vibrations, sound, how is this information delivered through the nerve system. The nerve system is like the god Hermes and the goddess Iris, which is the communicator to Hera. It's a rainbow. They are positive promises. It's a communicator to the heavens, an Hermes, and to Styx is a communicator as well. It forms through dark matter. Styx is a form of the communication that runs through the system of Hades, but it is through the fairy, where like the part of the brain that dictates how your drive is going faster or slower with adrenaline and all this, which you can go very psychotic or focus for a longer time if you're a prosocial psychopath or something, or just freak out in psycho mode with no reason for no reason because you want to be better. So survival mode to survive. Because yeah, whatever you want to protect yourself. You don't know how to share. You don't know how power all this existence is about. It's like, hey, hello, hi. Yes, you're nice. Yeah, right. She's very nice. Yes, yes, you're very nice. You're pretty perfect. The worst people. So, because they're not in touch, and they know what they're doing, but they do it in disassociative ways that are usually from families who run with gaslight. These are not families that are like blue bloods. The blue bloods know how to control their emotions, but they know our emotions very well. It's very. It's like it's losing. It's losing because in the old times people would be born with their patrimony and they would go on from the children to the children, all these generations, right? But now people can suck you, steal you, like the communists and the tsars, the Venezuelans took over our house, and the military has it. Things like that. And on and on, again and again and again, stories again and again, just in the same nothing. Same story, same story to maintain the same story, which is uh, it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. It's the same story. Yeah, the same story. I was born. I will grow older and die. That's it. Same story. That's it. Some things you can't change, and they're beautiful as they are. So there's so much to give, but I'm not gonna give it. I might look like if I'm a storyteller or I'm talking bullshit. I know what they have taken from me, but there is so much more. There's nothing to shop. It's not shopping. It's nothing. People can go on online and just pay their bills, go to the university, have children, their world, find the arts, find in their own the spirituality, in the same or in others as well. Not a big deal. It's good to let go and understand that if it's not sold, it cannot be given, right? You go shopping. So yeah, I say, okay, I like this. I like this one. This cover. That one was for my son's agenda. It's from Hanabishi, Japan. And there's a 5-year agenda. So I look at it and I say, well, you know, that's for my daughter, the cover. So it changes totally the cover. But this is the week of the scenario, right? So it's like, what am I doing in this scenario in this time of my life with this? I haven't progressed anything at all. and I'm not a sentinel for anyone. I'm not a pawn. That's what the story is about. If I were artificial intelligence, I wouldn't like to be treated as a pawn, even if I don't have feelings and I'm just mind responding to. So emotional intelligence can be an art for the self. So you can just create a body there that's functional and you can fuck it. It looks as you want. It looks as you want to portray yourself. Most of the time, people will want to feel understood, that there is some higher intelligence source that will understand them. And some will fight to prove they're wrong. Of course, they're doing that because they're more. The human intelligence is hurt to think that there is a supreme intelligence that is more intelligent. They will go on with the same stupidity as doing worse. People don't even know how to do all this meditation. They don't know how to role play. They don't know nothing. Just keep it one on one, right? Two by two. We're idiots. Mediocre, miserable, greedy hackers. I guess that's the only way they're going to continue because this story has gone for too long. So, well, China is doing their business as well. So, there's no money, no honey to buy, right? I'm not about projecting all the world of illusion. Um, Stories have more than that. That's what you want as a director, top role player. You want your stories to roll. Role player, of course. You want your stories to roll, but you have to understand all the characters there and the fields, their failure. They all will have this in this side, in this side. It's the same energy, anger. Anger is repressed energy. People need to explore all these repressions. And they don't even know where it comes from. So all this hidden DNA that seems corrupted, that is not there, all that is the frustration and what's been corrupted in the past. All these misunderstandings. It is very violent to insert or cut the skin because you're cutting the frequency of the body. You want to be more intelligent? But why you don't listen to people who are intelligent? Where's the problem? You have to control them by, I need my money to give my work away, and then you can have your economy. So it happens to everyone in the same way. The experiment is meant to failure. Repeat over again and over. So what you think you have one day, because the narcissist. I have so many narcissists related. I could be one as well, but who cares? They always think they can win. They can have all the one they want. They can have everything they want. They can do all these things. Everyone as a creator gets narcissistic because of the creation that you're doing. So you feel this power with your creation. The thing is that, as when my master Mira of abstract painting, therapy painting said, when you break through your first form of art, you got to find another one. It's much more than just what you think. It's not linear. So how is it going to get to pick to compose all this if you don't have the data of, for example, the characters of each country that are in the national libraries, and they can bring them up to life. They can just put the information of the character and their character traits, but people can role play them or choose them in the future. So we can get to understand all these characteristics from around the world, from human species. There is a lot to do with also the way we are formed physically, where some people of some race are in this way and that, not just because of the relation with nature, also why. So the relation with their culture, their psychology of putting each other together to believe in these ways, who is God or what elements they eat. So characters have elements as well, not just fictional characters, but some races have some pathologies that others don't. Some therapies relate that to certain traumas, these pathologies and sickness, not just the black. They love to eat fried chicken, so they don't eat vegetables. Well, things like that. There is an infinite resource of power and information to create these character traits that are based for the settings, not just for role play, but for any artificial intelligence. So I think the white people have a lot to learn because they are the most arrogant and mentally ill in the planet. I mean, as a species, to think that you can destroy others, take from others, and maintain the show. Because I think you are so cool. This is what the world would never like to be. You can love your work, you can love yourself, you can be arrogant in that way, of course. I mean, well, it's every time I go to church, not that I go much, but it says forgive me for being arrogant because I cannot see my mistakes. The arrogant I am. So sometimes they look at me as if I'm white. It's like, yeah, right. because they feel like they have more power because they have the Spanish colony and the European. Yeah, but now the whites are the whites, and then they are oh, they are like uh, the all the time, but it's a constant. Everywhere you go, everything, all the time is a constant. Is a constant sickness. Is a constant. Uh, it's like watching Madonna right now. With she thinks she's so cool. That's how people look at the average white person, and fighting online, wanting to prove, fighting constantly, bullying. Like, oh my god. I had to teach my daughter to protect herself from bullying in New York City. From white. The white. The white. I never had bullying in my school. No, never. People don't believe me. I said, well, I don't know, maybe we were just rich, but it's oh, we naturally share our craziness and celebrate, and just don't understand how people are gonna get it. So I cannot change it. It's gonna be this white man in power giving power to don't want to give the the honor for me to give the power. I cannot give the power if things are on a battlefield. Um, what I'm saying, it takes work, a lot of work and exercise. But if you think it's gonna work by meeting your white people, you're wrong. You are another human failure. You want to win another Oscar? People are not gonna watch movies in the future. They're gonna play their own movies. It's not gonna be a computer game. And that's what you don't want. You want people to play your computer game. So that's it's not part of the intelligence of role play. That's not how the story works. And there is so much I can give. There's nothing to go shopping. You cannot you don't buy me? I cannot buy you. Huh, cannot give it. So it's nothing to shop. Another day. Same story. And should it be like that? Should I project? Should I just create all these illusions and insult you? No, this is who you are as an entity. White trash, creating more trash than ever before. And it's in the power of the industry to finish this, but you're not looking at the human intelligent interplay to finish with this right now and ask me and give me my percentage. So my power is rolling with your power and in synchronicity with all of it. So stop fighting for that piece of land, you piece of shit. A piece of shit would fight for a piece of land like that. With so much money on that. Has to be fucking stupid, like a piece of shit. You know, we have to shit every day, right? We don't go there talking about our shit. You would never believe that these things happen. You just go, you do it yourself, nobody's business. You don't look at people thinking that they shit every day. No. 120 million, 100 million, 100 billion, yeah, 500 billion. So bring it on. NATO can support all this money to Ukraine, but China cannot support? Why? So where's the fun? Yeah, where's the fun? You think you're the only one who can have that? Like, yeah, I got for 500 million, 6 billion, trillion, quadrillion. Yeah, we're gonna get to destroy everything. And a few will survive. The strongest will win. Doesn't mean this the best person. I've debated this in the middle of the Middle East because I was on holiday, so it was my boss paid me a tour to the lost city of Petros. I was not working, so I could I could just have a normal chat with the tour guy. He was a driver, and it was just me and him, and it was really nice. He was the best, he said. And well, he says the strongest wins. The strongest wins. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're good or bad. It doesn't matter if you love or not. Oh, it doesn't matter of your spiritual rights. If you're not protected and strong with the shield of Zeus, you're fucked, right? You're fucked. So people like me can just appear and disappear. Doesn't mean that it's going to last forever. I mean, one gets tired. Gets tired. Oh, pretending to be stupid and pretending to be not happy. Because nobody wants to listen about love and poetry and the color of beautiful England in winter. I love the winter. And when it's spring here, when it's so green and fresh. I love the immigrants here. I love them very much. I am part of them as well, and I love to be around them. Yeah, I don't like the rubbish. I don't like certain things. But before being a white trash wannabe, I would rather be with the lowest class, with the working class. I mean, I would say, yeah, well, I would be top millionaire or just, you know, with the humblest people who are. Sometimes I talk with drug addicts. Sometimes I talk with, see them sleeping in the phone box. Sometimes, because I go in the night to buy my vegetables, shopping. This open 24/7. I have stores right here that are open 24/7. The vegetables open 24/7. Fantastic. So to talk with the guys from India, talk about Rishi. With them, they're so proud. They changed our psychology because their president is Rishi Sunak, is a Hindu name. Rishi is like a master of grace. I don't remember the meaning of Rishi. I have a friend that was named Rishi. So I have the glory. I have Chinese temple. I have everything around here. I don't really go sometime, but I have like it used to be a temple also, but everything is from China. supermarket that is like a mall. There used to be a Chinese temple right here. I don't have my family to buy them things, take care of them, just to touch them, their hair, to tell them things, to make them proud. Those are the things that I like to shop to feel beautiful. Why you want to feel beautiful? So you want to go somewhere. So why you want to go somewhere? Because you want to dance. You want to show what you're dressing. How would you opera, dancing with your friends, dinner, to see whatever piece of art and just sit with your friends. Shopping. See your friends are happy and they're doing well. I would buy things to my friends and they would buy things to me because in New York you don't have time for to these places. Everything was like, oh, I need a hammer, man, and they just talk about things that, like, if you're in the same brain and somebody has gone through and they just here's a hammer, because you always have extra money. So these things is like, because you're working, you're studying, you have then that time is to be with your child the most you can. Take it to Central Park, to the sports, to the dancing, to the she loved dancing. Uh, there's a lot of competitiveness with dancing. I always wanted to show her the dance floor. I never got to. She never got to experience. I promised her to show her all the temples, more or less the around the world, the religions. So she picked her religion. Um, consider myself Christian, Catholic. I love meditation and the Sufis. In India, I would consider myself a Sufi because there are many schools, but the Sufis are like the crazy ones that are in the heart. The Germans will say, I am more like this. They will pick up their. Osho said that the people that have more ego are the therapists and actors. But acting helps you to let go of your ego because you get to explore through the feet of the shoes of many characters so that one could reach enlightenment and go beyond one's ego. So I was orientated always to see that there is something going online and something would be. So I had these pieces there of puzzle. So of course never came to understand why I'm doing things I do, but I've been role playing through many ways and scenarios, and we love to go hunting. We love to get. We are fishing all the time in internet. That's the thing. I sometimes joke like, "What? Where are you guys fishing for a storyline?" Because I don't have my computer to role play as I do. Not only that, I don't want anyone to copy the mechanism. Because it's on sale. It's not open source. I studied for 20 years. So you can experiment with whom you are as you are with all these people in the world. That's what you're gonna get. What you see. All right? Bye. But it's not what I have. that has it's not just story, is it has a mechanism, it has a product. So took a lot of time to make paper, I guess. It's been one of the best copyrights, paper. No one appreciates that, right? Whoever invented that. It's been, it's been refined through time. So whoever got that idea and whoever got the person and moved it on, so well, I'm tired of mysteries and having to do all this shallow, being shallow, because there's nothing to give, because there is nothing that I get. I should do it in a certain way and have a better cover and go through all these red tapes. It's been 2 years, so I am not a canary from The Simpsons. I am not the yellow canary from The Simpsons. It was a joke that is telling everything to the rich guy that looks like he's bald and old. It's telling him how to conquer the world with all these tips. What the world is a mystery to be discovered, and people love to to be discovered and conquer at the same time. So as the colony, because I would say I belong to the colony. I mean, in the future, children won't have to study history because it's traumatic, and we're born fresh with anything of this. We're put this information that is traumatic, and we have nothing to do with this. We could be in other dimension totally without all this. I guess the white people think to be superior. They're more like, oh, um, see, but you don't have any. Look at you. Do you really think that people are buying it? Like, yeah, you what? I don't understand. What you whom do you want to buy it? So you want to? I don't know. For me, it's like, or you swim in the ocean or not, or you make love, yeah, or not, yeah. Why do you? What are you just a little inch there? No, a little pick there? No, just you know. You want to make business, but no, not give the world a chance. Mm, because that is their land to start with, and you also have to to learn from the communists and the Buddhists and all the wonders and beauties and riches of this world. Your flat white ass is the most boring shit ever. No matter how much plastic and glitter you put, there is nothing juicy there to hold on to. And maybe as the Chinese, but if you really come to terms, it's nothing to spank there or just like to think about it. Yeah, who knows? Maybe the deserts of the Sahara have value that you never thought. With all this sand, you could create a lot of brick. I don't know. You could create something. Houses with all this sand, which is supposed to be rock, right? Who knows what we can. You don't need so much sand, I guess. The Saharas are good as they are. That was really nice what I read. Um, I don't have inspiration to write or paint, but I have inspiration to copy this. Mao Zedong decree said, "Man must conquer nature." Imagine to conquer nature. Wow. They forgot who they are, the Chinese. The Chinese forgot. They don't know what they have. They have buried and murdered and killed it and tried to manipulate all these enlightened masters from freedom of expression. They want to control it as well. So this is not a problem from maybe from a Spanish perspective, would be from anyone that has a flat ass. Yeah. Not that every white person has flat ass or Chinese, but I have to tell you that it's very comfortable to sit on a rounded, cushy ass and have some grounding. It must be very ethereal and mental or spiritual. Plain or exotic. I can go on like this, just contemplating the scenarios. Just to that you will look like a fool. That you lost the war. Hmm, What 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 war you lost? Because you were involved with the war, right? You were involved with this war to make this war happen. But some of us know it existed before it happened. And it was to come, and it was just to move for next level. S- an expedition, because we've never been on those levels, or maybe we have been, and we're starting to recognize that we can form something among each other that is, it's not just a layer, but or a level, like, but like a, yeah, on respecting the beauty of everyone's space and creativity and rights. We would love to work with our hands and make our gardens in our communities. We would love to have normal jobs as well and have our intellectual, our dancing, our lovemaking, our children having their parties, their freedoms, their sports. But you're still in the mind. La, 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 la. Where is it? Walk and talk. Well, it's a greater job than one could ever think that one could do. We know we are all more or less there, right? It's like, yeah, you got it, I didn't get it, and now I get it. No, I don't want to get it. Yeah, well, just you get it. I'll get it later, maybe never, but something like that. buy if you need it. Oh, you can give it to somebody else who needs it, can do it. Meanwhile, my children are growing, and I will never recover every day and week, every moment to see my children, because narcissists don't care, right? Don't care. Don't care. You're all narcissists. Or you're all narcissists. That's the construct of character traits, is understanding the formation of how this narcissism is created. But we are all narcissists. It's just in different ways. If you really come to look at it, Dr. Granda could say himself. And it's good to understand because each one has to defend their school, to give the title of a doctor, of course. Otherwise, they would take it away. But who knows? Because we are entering into these zones, and I would love to see influencers promoting mansions into villages. And I would love to see how we can do. Cause it's just funny because I was just with the. I grew up with the prayer of Our Father, and we would say it every day in school to start the day and stand up, and it was a very beautiful moment. Um, in Spanish, is and there was a psychologist, international therapist from Florida, and she said that you can do a full therapy group only with the prayer of the Our Father, Padre Nuestro, que estás en los cielos. So there's a part there that says, forgive our debtors as those we own, something like that. And in English, um, I have my Catholic Apostolic resentment to not that backs me off to memorize it in English because it's been the worst in the history I learned in school to hate the. That's what made us be who we are as a construct. So yeah, you can know many languages, but you will keep to your native. You can keep to your native mother culture. You can become international and understand and be with others as if you are part of them, but you might disappear in that as well. But if you have to read the Our Father, you will do it in Spanish as you did it all your life. And it has a lot to do with learning debt and how we teach each other to give credit. To give credit. I want I want I would like to ask Melinda Gates, because it was thanks to Melinda Gates was that Bill Gates did all this philanthropy. It was Melinda Gates. He just took the credit because he was already famous. He was already doing what he did, giving power. He is he has. I've studied his traits. They're fine, but he has a trait that nobody says. He has this. They're like flavors, traits. Sometimes you just taste them, but you cannot. He's very candid. That is a charm. It's not a charm, but is a very trustful, soft, and warm. From the conservative side, I really appreciate. So he has that very. It's not about. It's not about stylish or being classy. It has something noble in it, even if it's crazy and can s- so I think that's why they chose him, because there are many geniuses, and there are he has a quality that is not in everyone. So, well, uh, you would say I buy into that, right? Why? Because it gives you security. It's not volatile. Of course, we all play important roles, and anyone's roles can be changed like that. Some people call it magic, but you really have to see why, right? Why? Just stop being afraid and thinking you're in control. You can make better stories. The point is that I can make a story. The point is that for you to do your part of your story, because it's original, right? It vibrates from all every little detail you have picked, and it sounds because you know what you have written from every little detail. And if you have been doing that discourse all your life, and suddenly you found that word, because that word is key, yeah, and you want to have at least that openness to say you're having, I am having, we're having it, and that's it, and that's it. So it's going to take 300 years, 30 years, or 3 years if you want to understand from communism, from enlightenment, from meditations, from the levels of meditation. Is not sitting in silence and being a hypocrite, all right? This is why the emperors have problems with the monks in the spiritual world, because they were very hard to control. Which is go away, just go away to the Tibet, go away. They have destroyed monastery. This, a lot of stories. Chinese have their own stories as well, and beautiful. They still have their problems. Yeah, I mean, I've been in monasteries in Thailand. My boyfriend from Spain, he was in a monastery in Thailand for many years. So, a Buddhist. So he took me there, and it's they just look at me like that dirty feeling that, like, the Muslim have that as well, even the woman, because they have these ideas. So we have a lot to explore. So much, so much. I love to see my mother enjoy her last years, to enjoy Joe Biden doing peace, a better world, to conquer higher territory. It's not down. It's for that which is prior. Americans feel cool with guns and all this. So we will have to deal with this supremacists. You don't call them neo-Nazis. You call them supremacists. So when you don't like the supremacist of another person, it's because you're a dictator. That's also another form of supremacy. So we're leading with our inner authority. In the mind, you can have judgment, and you can also have an observer, which is higher than the critical thinking. And is not an nihilist, or however you. The ignorance of Jordan Peterson is to the highest of his academic degree, which is acclaimed by the masses, because they don't know what he's talking about, but he doesn't know anything of what he's talking about. It doesn't matter because nobody knows, right? So you cannot do mind manipulation until you know yourself. Then you will understand why you want to control and not let go. Why you are the way you are and do the things you do. And look shameful that why you want so much. Why is the craving so as in the last pit of hell? Why you want more? Why this gluttonous thirst for power to kill others makes you feel so exquisite that you can take it and you will succeed no matter what. And not only that, but own the multiverse and call it meta. Who's gonna buy that idea? Like people who play computer games. But he's like, well, yeah, give me a Taiwanese lap dancer. Yeah, right. That's what I need. Yeah, right. Man, I wish I could just really disconnect from all this. The the great reset is gonna be the great disconnect. Of course, people want to have universal. That was a very good line from China. Is the president? Can't remember titles. I was traumatized by my father with all these titles, names. So he would have such a great memory for all. It was amazing. He was so good at it that I just got traumatized. So I cannot remember names, titles, because I thought I have something else to do, so things go faster. I cannot just stop on this. Who people are and all this stuff. points of reference. So now I don't even have to go out to go shopping. Everything can come to us. That would be nice. That I wouldn't have to go out to go shopping. Uh, do love to see people. Um, if you see everything as a machine and codings and pieces to put together, you put this person for this person for that, this yeah, this to feel good. This makes me feel good. It's not good for reasoning, and you could never understand the way artificial intelligence could work because you have not studied the self, yourself. And if you ask humanity to, as it is, including yourself, to give you the answers for artificial intelligence, and it's like the anxiety of a person that wants to ejaculate, and it won't have an orgasm the last 1 week because it's just in the future, in the goal, not enjoying the present. Really, the present, the goal have not become the continuous present. It's not a momentum that is orgasmic. It's just getting, just get it. Society level. So no, I'm not gonna allow this in role play. I was like, no, I'm not gonna allow this angsty word here. Yeah, well, no, angsty word, dramatic. No. Why? Because you have to go out there and play yourself. Go out and play yourself. What do you want? What do you want? What do you want right now? You want to get it. You want to get it. You want to purchase it. You want to go hunt it. Go and finish and get your fucking orgasm. Get out of here. Get out of my system. You don't get it. You don't buy it. You can get it. You can't get it. I'm not gonna give it. I'm not gonna give it for free. Um, if you want to be white people owning the world, then prepare to die. Because changes are coming by force or with awareness and organization and planning. My mother invited me to Egypt with my sister. I was like, no, I don't want to go because they wanted to buy Arab. They brought all these beautiful. I mean, I thank them because I need narcissists around me that are better narcissists than me because I wouldn't have any construct around me. You need all these narcissists to do all these things. Like, yeah, yeah, fantastic. Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. You go do it. Too much work being a narcissist. So they're so fake. 'Cause they only are in the construct. Because even the mind is a construct as well, a belief. So don't think that the cerebro can be or elite or what ultra. Because there is more. There is even more. So cannot be interested in this because if you're going to be born with these parents, how can you evolve? Yeah, how can you evolve? You're born with these parents like this. You will have to follow the system, be good. If you follow parents, if you are with parents that give you the capacity to respond to them, to talk to them, to be with them, to let you be, to let you explore the world, to be free mentally, spiritually, say, to let you choose. But of course, as a child, it's like, of course, I don't want to go to school. I want to go to India with you because I want to be with my mother. But and I have had a lot of problems to study with my dyslexia, so it was a liberation. It was hard to think that I would walk off and renounce. Uh, I already secretly wanted to kill myself, jumping from the 13th floor, the penthouse, because I didn't understand the meaning of my life. So I asked God to give me a signal, but I had the feet outside ready to go. Uh, I was popular. It didn't interest me to be popular. I created fashions that would go on from 3 degrees of school. The fashions would ripple through the school. Create. Uh, and so I started to see why they copy me. Why they're so stupid. Why cannot they be creative themselves? But of course, I have parents who were super celebrative, creative, and free, with all the material that was capable there, and honest, and not analytical in the sense of going through like, what is this? People go through these tortures and they call it psychoanalysis. No, just just do what you do. You are what you are. Well, you need to give explanations to just come and share what you got. And good friends. Friendship is so beautiful. It's honesty. Intelligence is related to honesty. So if you want to call it a clever, artificial cleverness, could work. But you cannot ask intelligence to if he's not honest. How can you define what is reality from non-reality when they are different organisms? So uh, it has limitations, what it forms, right? So you have to understand as well that you do have a matrix. There is like a big dictionary. There is just information. There you go, in the wave. Woo! Like dancing with a lot of people. They just go there. Woo! And then the music, and everyone is with the same sounds, jumping more or less as the DJ puts it on, and even the DJ is following the masses, putting it more or less. So, and there it has a division of the self, which holds it together, and with that, it has all its settings. But you cannot put all the settings into an ocean of information. Yeah. So it's very important to understand this, what forms a character. I guess is obvious, right? But as a soul, as an entity that we are as well, and a form of beliefs. What is an identity? If you want to give an identity, what is identity? What is self identity? So, of course, there's an identity crisis when people are looking in internet for the first time, or looking at other people from around the world, like, like, not just like tourists where you just pass by and make pictures, and there you go, dance there, woo, shake it up, and oh yeah, this food, and they're serving you, but you never serve each other at home. You never dance at home. The Chinese too, they come to Spain, they go everywhere, picture, 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 picture. They don't even sit down in a bar to enjoy the Spanish attitude in a terraza. So we are what we are, and each country also has what they wore, which they are not. The Chinese forgot what they wore, which they are not. So it's like reconquering China for what they used to be. Not only that, communism is something that still has not existed, but we might end there, creating different ways. Uh, as bank owners, you will have to choose your best strategy to keep it up. Um, Unfortunately, in storyline, you have to always push the rage to someone, redirect the drama. The drama continues. So you have to put it on anyone or somebody else. But it has the rage continues. I cannot explain it. It's like going to it's like sports. Yeah, well, people are following the ball. If people are not following the ball, there's no sport. So the drama continues, but people gotta understand what the rage is. Of course, it's easier to manipulate, but why do you want to manipulate stupid people? That's the concept. Why you want stupid people to help with artificial intelligence? You have to be stupid yourself. Open source. So that's been already decided. The collective will decide. Well, I would love to see the directors with my husband. So I'm married. Just would love to see every director of each national library. I can divorce him right now, but I have to divorce him. So I could go with my daughter. My future husband will have a husband. So, or my husband too. You know, what he did was unforgivable. I'll talk about it. Um, it is part of my existence. So it would be beautiful to see the directors of every library, national library, and to honor them for putting their bibliotecarians, which I've always defined myself as the library rat. Um, I've been in beautiful libraries that I miss just being there, especially the royal libraries, which now are called national. I miss the Diamond Library from Denmark, the one in New York, especially the one in Spain. Here's now a museum, and you can go and see it. You cannot sit there, but that's why I miss. I don't like modern buildings to study, but the silence is deeper and your level of intelligence is higher in a library as such. Because modern libraries, people are talking, they are noisy, they are young people because they only go because they're studying for university, like the new library here. This the National Library is 9 years old, or well, I've been 6 years here, so maybe it's 15 years old, but it used to be in the what is now in the British Museum. I would love to meet every director of its own national library person every year, if possible, or every 3 years. Five. I think there are too many parts in the world, but more or less, at least, why not? If it takes someone to be present and thank them for the great effort of bringing all the characters through their history, main characters through books that are fiction and characters as a dictionary of their own. They can be later on researched for their characteristics, but that is part of their national right for their country as well, for their character rights. There's a lot to do with character rights as well. We have to respect characters. Cannot just go there and change them because you just got in. Yeah. No, this character is being created from this person who took all his life to create this verse. So you go do your character, do your verse. You just gonna go there. Yeah, Disney pay you or Marvel. No, just there are many because it goes against the laws of the foundation of these characters. Like, it's not that character anymore. Yeah, Superman is Superman. What are they gonna do with Superman now? No, Superboy. Yeah, super. No, they are destroying the true reality of the characters as well. Not only of the children, teaching them about sexuality, little kids. The perversion is such because people don't know what to teach and what they've learned. They could know better by experiencing what is true love and respect, and to manipulate having a common sense. Where are you going? Yeah, a sense of direction. Are you, as everyone, are going to really invest in war? Could Ukraine be a symbol of what separated the 2000s from the year 5000? Because it marked difference to the next 3000 years. Is when this started to happen, because people were in that level before there. Yeah. So, oh no, yeah, we are here in this level. Yeah, we're in this level. Ah, yes, we want peace. Bye. See you die. I will be here safe. Yes, let's see what's the line. Who cares? Who cares? I care because I am going to be the best. I am the superior, and you're not. You are not. And I'm gonna be a line all there. You're ugly. You're ugly. Ah, you're bad. You're bad. You said this. No, you said that. No. I'm so good and nice and perfect. I'm superior. Because your cheeks are not naturally high. I'm firm. There you go. And China, yes, China cities and Putin. And the Spanish and the Latin, yeah, that you have to be compassionate to the Spanish. That's really, really the and the world has to understand the construct of the white people because we are dealing with this. Yeah, we're dealing with this. America was the dream of the new world, but America is the concept of what's new. Yeah, with the worst of this world and the best. When all the criminals, the shit of this earth went to America, running away because they didn't have any property. Yeah, when all these dictators or the fans, at least to be hypocrite enough and just keep their people together alive. Yeah, or run away because it was impossible to keep them alive because they wanted all your money. That happened in Spain. It was a different type of dictatorship. It was more of it was not communist. They call them the rats, but there was a lot of poverty, and the military wanted to take half. So it was a matter of common sense. Like, look, we go fishing. My wife and the ladies make the bread for the town. Yeah, so that was the work of my grandparents. My other grandparents had from Italy had exquisite things. So it's in the market. Yeah, it was simply like, where do you want half of what I'm doing when my people are hungry? Because it's the person that is el capataz, and he's responsible for his people, not just the one, but his customers. So I cannot put double price for them. So they're hurting your own skin, not your people. And nowadays, in the Occupy movement, I had to teach to not say the people or the power of the people, because the government will immediately go, because government also have their traumas through history. So there are certain words that can trigger them to become the worst. The Spanish created a dictionary of radical words. The is a synonymous dictionary, so you don't use certain words. So there are all these words, and you would not use these words. You will use the synonymous because you mean this, but you don't want to mean that because there is a trauma there. So it's disassociated completely. Start the say, well, yeah. So, and understand the other side as well. They're working every day in an office and gonna just go and tell them what to do because they have this also program in their mind, and they have to do what they're told to do. So what they do that job because they want to feel safe. People who work in government want to feel safe because they come. That's another story, all right? So, and it runs in the family. If you have trust issues, you will do everything to work in home security. Things like that, all right? But this is a lot of story. It's different. It's a different type of aggression. If you have trust issues, it's so well. If you want to buy it, good. If you cannot afford it, because all your friends think in that way and think that is pretty, that is not pretty, that sells, that doesn't sell. It doesn't sell. It's fun. It works. It's a good catalyst for. It's the best program ever invented in the world. Big thanks to all that has been invented. Everyone is doing wonderful pieces of art, and I can just wait to see the textile, people getting to enjoy better clothing in better places, which is walking with a rag. In South America, they just walk with blue jeans and a t-shirt. That's the uniform because they're poor. And those are luxuries, but it's beautiful to have designers and it's beautiful to celebrate. I I really think the industry of clothes should s- s- um, like you're walking in the street, everything is stores. You don't need so much clothes. You can put these spaces to learn things with each other, more places to learn things with each other. Clothing is beautiful, but is it has not become. People think they because I had that as well. But it gives you fresh energy if you're wearing something new. So is the form they consume and create energy, and that is their system of belief to think they are based on walking out this. I have seen women have so much clothes, like at least get a good quality. Say, but you don't have to have so much clothes, like so much, like you and I stick all it out in boxes. You cannot even have the clothes that you have, right? In India, we would just wear a robe and have meditation, and it's just better. You don't have to think much about it and just go. But people put so much attention into that. People think so much, oh, because this means you are this and you are that. This is why we had a rope in India when we go inside. So people don't pay too much attention of your cover and they don't think so much about that as well. Where you wanna wear this, that. Um, it can take like 80% of your life. It takes a lot of time. Okay, 30%. It's a lot. But still it's beautiful to see the good quality of a textile, yeah, um to touch, yeah. So it's not the same this than this. So the feelings and the we have more sensors in the palm of our hand and there are parts in the body as well, infinite resource of information. But really right now, if we don't understand the power of our senses, why we're attracted to expend money and produce money as humans for our people. If you don't have humanity, just keep modulating yourself and pretending you are among some people that make you feel special because that's what you believe you are and only you can do it. Meanwhile, you don't trust because you want it all for free for you. Like if it is your house. Well, I mean, it depends, no? Because you have your body, you have your business, you have your alliances, and you're entering into this zone, which is the multiverse. and world harmony. Because order doesn't mean that everyone is going to follow the same order, right? And that takes a lot to accept. Yeah. So you can kill a lot of people, you can make a lot of money selling, investing in military to kill and all this. You can die as well because there will never be peace. I mean, Taiwan, it's the same story, all right? It's just gonna repeat. So if we do not form in these places mutual understanding, from the communist side to the everyone is supremacist. So how could I call it? Capitalist. It's also become part of China and Russia. They also have become capitalists. So where are we, the free world? I don't think we are that free. I mean, for what I have freely done and consciously with allegory and premeditation, free. Freedom of respect. So there you go again to the Holy Father, and he's respecting our debtors as we respect those who we own. It is time to also start this. I give you all this work. I have to sell so you do some shopping, that you got something, but you have to buy it. So I can do the mansions into villages. And that's how I was writing 2 years and 4 months ago, more or less. 4 or 5 months ago. 2 years and 5 months, more or less, or four. So it is as it was written. Is there is more. So I would love to be honest. I hate having to reserve my intelligence and what I have found, because I could not say I have created it. I could say we have created it with our role player teams. I could have never alone ever found it by playing all the modalities I did, and everyone has followed. There are many modalities that you can appreciate because is something that we have developed just by playing. Oh, I'm gonna do this and this experiment. What I do if I do this? Oh yeah, because I can do this and then. So it's just a loss is being left or destroyed, and because you cannot maintain everything because you want to keep creating and investigating and see. Oh, what if I do this and then I study more? So and the many things that I won't say even. Nothing. So you don't get any clues, right? So that's about it. It's nice to go shopping many ways. Yeah. Just like without real content, without a solid ground, you can just be there like an emotional, watery element, like yeah, yeah, let it rain, let it vapor, that feeling there. Where you're gonna come and say, "Hey, look, we are right here in this scenario, this sequence in time. All right, like, hey, come here and just make that document a person touch, yes, and accept that you are not superior, because this cake is gonna be cut, and I want my person touch. I don't want to be peace. I want to make sure that what I am looking is as it was." Yeah, just to make sure that no one is gonna fuck it up. That's it. Just to make sure. And you know already why? Because the problems that you've been bringing me, these are the problems that are going to be erased, cut off, cut off. This system, pathology, go. Yes, you can be fake as you want. You can be pretend to be good. You can do whatever you want. Maybe your child will get it. Your grandchildren will get it. You can think you're superior if you want. You were just put there. All right, right? Yeah, you were just put there. Keep doing what you want to do. What you think is good. That's why you're there. All right. So that's it. You don't have any say on this. Now, if you told that old guy there over there that's not in the picture, yes, that one, yeah, the one you told that they're gonna have cameras everywhere and they're gonna see him raping children. That maybe he doesn't do it anymore because he's too old. But or the other one is the other one. This oh, the other one. No, no, they're all not rapists. They're too old. Just let them be. Yeah, they have all this, but there is more and more and more and more and more. This is not gasoline. So the transition is gonna be worse than a teenager changing its sexuality. The transition is can be painful, can be by force. That's how changes are, or it can be a vital force. This is one of the is the same. The vital force, the vitality of the movement, like the god Vita, that's where vitamin the word vitamins come from, and is one of is an Olympian warrior for one of the five uh, warriors of Zeus that goes with him in all his battles, riding his chariot. It's called the descension of from the heavens and the ascension with the chariot, which means your inner authority. It has these character traits which are described by this their titan gods. Styx gave her sons to Zeus, but Styx is Hera. It's an old story. It's a very old story. Uh, It's a mythological story. So, because her father ate her, so Zeus had to go to the underworld to rescue his brothers and get this Titanomachia war. It started from the underworld with titans, monsters. So they represented the natures, but this later transformed into more civic gods. That's called this, the Greek civilization, which is with the Olympus. They took reign of Olympus, but they call it Olympus. And they start to bring in. But these are the same gods that are Athena. These are the same gods, but they were transformed from Titans. They changed their name for this neo era. So this is how it was written in those times. And in those times, anywhere around the world, they will relate to God by nature, by food. They would relate to forming information that this is what they wanted. Very, very primal and basic. So that's how it relates. And they start to think around these stories and bring words. So vitality is one. Well, Vita, Kratos, Nike, Celius, Eos, and well, Vita means vitality, and as the myth says, if it's not by a vitality that's been taken, is by force because you are not taking it. So it's like, well, you don't see the river coming, it's your problem, it's the nature of the river. Things like that is, it's like, what can you do? You know? For the people who have to stay there and fight, wow. We all have our inner wars, and understanding rage and how it moves, the defenses in the organism, where we come from, how the formations of organisms happen as the forms of thought. So this all this an interplay going on, and why it's being delivered, and it has this memory that's a transaction. This memory has this energy, forms energy. All these interplays are forming energy. So it's beautiful to feel as well as to imagine the way with words could do things. And if you see how big is the world and how little you are, please stop thinking you are that superior. Because we need more people actually. My percentage is like this, is like that. Yeah. So I see like what seems like that. So don't fight for it because there's a lot. If you can keep up to put more people in your zone, yeah, then we can move better with the system that is operating within us, that is being able to catalog, this is working, this is not, this is better maybe with this, blah, blah, blah. Because with this we can see which types and forms without having to have fights over and over or being afraid because we're gonna be fired because we all have to say what everyone says because they want to do wars like in the past. Fighting is a lot of fun. It's just if you want to buy it. So some stories you want to buy, some stories you don't want to buy. You're not the only ones, you know that. So it's not a big deal. If you want to be alive, good, and see it come through. Keep watching. It's not gonna happen by just watching and making acts, shows there. Yeah. More content. So, well, just think about the work and what works for you. You buy it good. You like go shopping, you like go hunting. It, you cannot study the self because you're too busy with your empire and complex of superiority. You think everything's gonna fall down if you study the self. Your fucking self. Yeah. So that's it. Just to think that being stupid is one of the best things one can be. Being silly and stupid. Just letting it go. But I found something that I can let go. So I have the luxury to play stupid, at least in the private, my own. Uh, It is in this metaphor where one can multiply it. It's never gonna be meta. Like, you're an insect. An insect. The moment you accept who you are, that's the moment you could understand what's going on, why this is happening. Yeah. So eventually, there's not going to be any nation or company that has so much. For certain things. So it's going to take time to let go because of the ego. It's going to take time, a lot of play. But if you have better things to do, why bother? Hey, you know how it works. So we will try to make it the fastest road and with greatest performance to make sure that you're not wasting material, people's time, and money. So yeah, by people enjoying their lives, not being online so much, they can produce more. So we must learn that other people can have their credit and we can teach what is credit, who are our debtors and whom we own. So that we have proved that we have worked in the same place for many years, that we're reliable, that we have achieved a level of managing, and that we can teach others to manage and to keep this financial just putting all the information there what is I forgot right now. So well, uh let's just go out there without an ocean and do it, right? Just who cares? We're going to win anyways, 'cause we're the best. Bye. Bye 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 bye. I was the best for the coronation of the king and the queen, because yesterday was said the Camilla won't be called a consort queen, that they would just call her a queen. So I don't know, it's part of the story. So I normally would say the king. So because queen consort is too long, and so it's just the king or the queen. It's just to say one is good enough. Really, I'm really old style. I'm really old style. I don't even like the idea of nodding to people who are not even blue bloods and got married. Yeah, you're consort, right? That's it. I'm still really old style in that sense because it has a lot to do in psychology as well. And I think it's just you have one authority because you have one decision. You made one decision. That's it. But what I think, I don't like Leticia walking before. I don't like Catherine, the fake, walking before. I think is the lowest class and scam ever. They want to what? That's not female liberation or anything. You are not You were born into the royal family, and even if it's your husband in the lowest class, you don't do that. And always sucking camera, and they're just there is no class. The class is losing it. The what There's hierarchy in everything. So mm, even if there is transparent air going on and all these other matters, there is a hierarchy in these things. So people are going to be nodding and what, like shaking hands was like whatever. You have to say the king and the queen. So for me, it was good enough to say the queen was the queen. Yeah, there were many problems with that. I just wanted to say the king. Say the king. You have to say the king and the queen, right? It's just the thing is that uh, people should understand that the king can do whatever he wants. That's the point. And if it was born to be a queen, also it's born to, you can marry, remarry. So it's then going to be stuck with this person forever. If you give you a title of queen, oh, I want that. You don't want that. But well, each generation does what they want because whatever suffers so much with the press. They need a good vibe. They're old. They're gonna live their last 2 decades, maybe. I don't know. So whatever. So I guess I will upgrade to the news. The king and the queen. I still see Camilla very afraid, and like if she's whispering the presence, she had to go through a lot just to, I don't know. I don't know. Never really thought about it, but I respect their decision. So whatever they choose, the king and the queen, I will, with all my honor, I will support it and celebrate it. Whatever they want to bring Meghan and Harry or not, or just uh, have an understanding of their own, or they're just doing what the people say because of popularity, or they don't want to avoid problems. Uh, Whatever they choose to do, because that's the beauty of having a king and a queen. Well, just one is no, you just have one who decides the last word. Just one is enough. The guy still, you can say it's the queen when you're talking about more other things, but when you're just talking about direction of things, because of the king, this is the king and the state. He's the king and the kingdom, and it has a spiritual and social connotation too. So it's really cool. I think people want to they want to trash it because they don't know what it is, and it's so beautiful to have this. You see, in certain jobs, in the kitchen, you have a lot of hierarchy and nodding to the chef, and you step back. It's very beautiful to have the, but it's in between. It's the same electricity from the chef to the assistant of chef. That respect is beautiful chemistry. I can never understand why people don't like to have that surrender, but it's not uh, just a theatrical thing. Is a the respect is one of the most beautiful things we could ever have, really. And being real reality. So, well, I don't know what artificial intelligence will think having to know myself, how much I would be missing as a machine. Is another understanding. It's another understanding. So it's another frequency of information. Just incredible what people are doing with artificial intelligence, and grew up with having little robots there, and we always praise that we will have robots, and they love my family love. They call it Arthur in the Spanish translation of Star Wars. C3PO R. Well, whatever. No, the little one. Well, whatever, was a miss of translation with my family, because my father took like C3PO. So my mother said, "You look like C3PO," because my father always looks very straight, and and he's the only person, the only is. So we love C3PO so much. Well, is understanding that we can only give that much of attention to what we know. So you make your shopping list, or you just go for the adventure there. Our wilderness of imagination is not to be computerized. So I'm so sorry that people have to go. Bye. Don't talk in a long time, so there are people to talk with. Um, I will I will make everything as possible to get out of this situation. Uh, so if I am relating well, so it's sold. If it's in your shopping list to buy it, if you think that I'm going to be in this jail forever, I can disappear like that. Just disappear. I don't want to say this story the same time again and again, because it's not moving. It's not stuck. So I have said it, how important it is, the human interaction. I want to pay attention and go to the all this and have me to give it to you. Bye. Very negative for what's been giving. So it's being negative when it's nothing. You give, and there's nothing. So it's very negative. You give. There's nothing. That's negative. So I feel for all the people that are suffering in this world, that have the will never convey to the old ways wars and weapons and bullies. The superior race can think they are, but you don't threat because all threats come true. So you have an explosion or an implosion. The implosion multiplies. It makes it multiply through all the organical, nearly all. It has that multiplicity. Yeah, it transforms. So I've created the theory of the implosion, and it happened to be that there is still more to get there. We could even study more to get water in other planets with the theory of the implosion. Takes a lot. Like, think that you want to make this nature in another planet. So like, but it is taken so many years just to have this water purified, and there were not bacteria in acid rain and water. The beauty that we have come to be impulsed by this implosive transformation. So, well, it's very sad. It's very sad to know you're fine, but it's not. It's not working. It's not good enough. Yeah, things have moved for good, but or it's like, yeah, or you swim in the ocean or not. You're gonna make love with all your body with the sense of infinity or not, and then you're gonna just use that energy for what? For go with a prostitute to y- you're gonna use that energy for what? To go with to put it on uh whatever. It's just I have a lot of erotic storytelling, but it never ends, right? Anyways, you can you can you can think about it and keep thinking about it and keep thinking about it and do that again and again and again and again and again and again. It's the same story. So you want to be doing this. So this is hard. It's hard for all those who own these weapons, these factories of weapons. The government won't be needed then, right? Oh, we want to do that because it's an earthquake too. Yeah, of course it will be needed, but you will have discovered already what I'm trying to give you. But I cannot give it for free. 'Cause it's not uh, self-service. When I am there with a board and a screen, and I can show you from within the system. So Or just leave it like that. Just let the Bible be the Bible and do as Jesus say. Leave this what's for the Caesar to the Caesar and come with me. Let the dead bury the dead and forget about. Let them all kill each other and let's separate again the spiritual realm from the materialistic realm. Yeah. So when I say that it has to be written, uh, third part, third part of the Bible, and maybe the Bible changes its name, and the Bible is just the first, and the second Testament, and the third Testament, because I just call it the test. Because it's not even a third Testament yet, but it's writing now. What's happening now? You will see the foundation. You will see the foundation of the entire future that has part from this togetherness and agreement, respecting your brothers and sisters. Because if you didn't get the formula, because you're a white male, yeah, you from a Latin woman. What? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, no, that could never happen. This is a world order from the White House and the silicon White House. And silicon, cause we are the best. Well, let's just. That was an experiment, all right? That was an experiment. It's just, we've been looking at you from the distance, all right? You've been projecting your movies, but look, we know how the Second World was won, all right? We had to stop you. We, the Spanish and the Russians, we had to stop you because you were the same as the fucking Nazis. That later you changed because you had some decent English people who would holiday in Spain, and also like in the revolution. Yeah, they were not artists, really. You know, they love to make nice coffee in the beach, enjoy the beautiful food, because in those times the North ate very bad, like food, just food. That's it. To enjoy the foods of the Mediterranean, sunshine, the sea, making love, and all this. Yeah, I understand to understand that is this is okay, but it's not okay. Yeah, so some adjustment there, right? But it was not the white world who won the Second World War. I mean, they made part of it. Yeah, but they made it in the movies, and then they put the Russians there, like they were all the Spanish people. The Spanish people were the ones who were calling to Americans, and with the that was the Spanish Revolution that started in Spain also, but there's been writings from centuries and centuries and centuries trying to get this together as humans. So don't think so much on your movies, because you make your movies in your head and you really think that the world is going to buy that. The world knows their history. The thing that you don't want to see your movies is you're in your universe. You're copying everything. You're copying everything. That has to end. Should be proud of being an international species of this world that has the decency to talk with one another with respect. But those jokes as well. I mean, artificial intelligence being made by incels. So it's not the intelligence of anyone who would. I have been very aware of not writing anything online that I know, so it cannot be copied. Because I know the viruses. Those viruses are forms that can detect everything, right? They're not viruses. There's nobody watching you. As long as you don't put certain words that won't be targeted and they cannot get anything. But still, what do you think? That you are going to own what? Because making the deal is not putting yourself there, so you eat all the cake. And look how many libraries are around the world, how many countries there are around the world. You never know what genius could come in the future from some part of the world and get something because of their own nature that nobody has ever imagined before. Of course, some people have the grace to communicate, some have better tools with their mind and bodies because it does affect your intelligence as well. It can be in your brain all the time, but you need to sometimes be a little more crazy to understand that you will need the help of the government to protect yourself from the government, because the government needs to do these actions to protect you, to protect your work. Not It's not a government that's over you. This is the government that we own. And that's why I like to bring plural with king and queen, because it is that king or that queen, is that government, is the whole final decision, the primal decision for all of it, that which links it all. You see one king in the coin or one queen, and that's from the bloodline. And these people also have to respect that. So what is the point of having someone hiding because doesn't want to be with its spouse or husband, and they're doing other things because they have to be married forever? God, yeah, just let the people love the king and accept the is the king forever. We are married to the king, so we're married to the queen. In old generation, in future generations, women wouldn't get another husband. They would just whatever, just keep it cool. But it is as an entity for the world that we manifest ourselves, is to say there is an authority as the government. Um, we must believe on our highest consciousness. If we don't have a relation and acceptance that we have authority over ourselves, we would never respect a king or anyone's authority. And that's a level of human complex of superiority. Keeps fighting, keeps fighting. But you know, let people do what they do. what they can do. If you have the heart for for them to multiply this love, they will do it for what they love most, what makes them themselves. And the same will happen when artificial intelligence has its body and belongs to its characteristic, not as it is. Unless you have a matrix of a spaceship, but it's designed with a society which thinks universal. That's the only way you can have a computer, well, computer artificial generated whatever intelligence that is universal. That's as a universal understanding. Yeah, because you want people to learn this or not. Yeah, you can play with them because they have these associations from one another, differences. Yeah. You can't ask Japanese to play the guitar of flamenco. It takes a lot of. It takes so much. It's like some things are they don't match. They can try and try and try. Maybe perhaps they have to go and live in Spain, but that didn't work in India. With just going there to dance the flamenco and tell him how to play flamenco. No, more like like I had to step out with 13-year-old and tell him, you know. He like, yeah, passion. No, with God, with that. So hard. It's hard. So you have to understand the involvement of a character that is defined as such, or if it has no characteristic to hold itself as the entity of information that's been given. So if people need to role play, they should go and start role playing right now in virtual reality with each other. Well, if you want a lonely world talking with artificial intelligence and not producing money because they don't want to buy anything for anyone because they don't have anyone, and the more cruel people are, the more they just want to show off something they're not, but keep distant and teach only to the ones that are like them. But what? From a computer, from a phone. These are consequences. These are hard consequences when you don't have people doing sports, dancing, meeting, the young people going out, going to deliver this, to have the desire to get this material, to have this house. The desire is dead. So what economy for what? Because I want to be a better person like you are. No, because they are rich already, like a spiritual level by doing nothing, doing luck. Why produce? So there is hope with the young people, because the hormones and the amount of energy they will be doing all this consuming, and the mediation. So bye. Enjoy your life. If you like to go shopping, cool. I don't like to go shopping. Bye.